All right, so I run one Gravekeepers guard. You asked me why? Honestly, I don't know. You select a monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand to flip effect. It's really good for those big monsters, especially when you have Necro Valley. Your defense is already at 2,400. So that's a really good defense guy. He's right up there with Spy. Thinking about running more, but I think he's good at 1. Gravekeepers Descendants. Have him at 2. Obviously, when you flip Spy, he's a good person to bring out because you can automatically sacrifice Spy and kill whatever else is on the board in front of you. I run 2 Assailants. If you're running into a big beater deck, this is a really good guy because when you attack a monster with another monster, this guy can switch the monster from attack to defense position. And if it's a beater deck, it's obviously going to have less attack. 3 copies of Spy. I don't need to explain her. She has a really high defense, 2,000 with Necro Valley on the field. She has 2,500. And then she can bring out a Gravekeepers with 1,500 or less attack when she's flipped. The star of the deck is Gravekeepers Commandant, or Commandant, however you want to say it. 1,600 attack, and you can also discard him for Necro Valley, which is the big star of your deck. You can't do a lot of your things with Necro Valley, so always run 3 of Gravekeepers Commandant. I run 1 Black Whale Guild Whirlwind. It helps having a dark monster for your Lord of Darkness, and also having, this is my only tuner, so if I want access to my extra deck, that guy really helps. 1 copy of Morphing Jar. This is a really underrated card in this deck. Because whenever it's flipped, obviously both players discard all cards in their hands, then draw 5 cards. If you're trying to get rid of their monsters easily and you have Royal Tribute, this is a really good card because you could just put Royal Tribute in face down and then wait for a Necro Valley and then just get rid of all their monsters in one go. So Morphing Jar is really good in this deck. Fossil Dyna, pretty self-explanatory. As soon as he's summoned, your opponent can't special summon, so it kind of stuns him a little bit. Let's see, 2 copies of Cyber Dragon. I think everyone's running Cyber Dragon. Really easy card to just special summon if your opponent controls a monster. Thunder King. I find myself going against a lot of beater decks, especially heroes, and this prevents them from adding to their hand. All right, that's it for all the monsters. I run 3 Necro Valleys. Yeah, all Gravekeepers monsters gain 500 attack and defense. Super helpful, and your opponent can't banish cards from their graveyard or take something out from their graveyard unless it's by the card's own effect. Yeah, this is the best card in my deck, I think. Close second is Royal Tribute. Unfortunately, you can brick mid-game or late game with these a lot, but if you get this in your first or second hand, it's going to be a good game. Because if you have Necro Valley out on the field, you guys both reveal your hands, and you both get rid of each. You both get rid of monsters in the hand. So that comes in handy. Gravekeeper Stell, it brings back 2 Gravekeepers from the graveyard regardless of Necro Valley. Smashing Ground, it just helps get rid of big monsters if you can't get rid of a certain monster on the field. Lore of Darkness just gives me more options. This is just back row removal, Mystical Space Typhoon, Heavy Storm. Something I like to do with Heavy Storm is my Starlight Road. Okay, so people tell me I should only play 1 to 0 Starlight Roads, but I refuse. I play a lot of like back row as you see, and it protects my back row, and I could like pop off my own Starlight with a Heavy Storm, which is pretty helpful in some situations. Then I have more traps. I got Mirror Force, always comes in handy. Solemn Judgment always comes in handy. 2 Dimensional Prisons, 2 Trap Holes, and 2 Compulsory Evacuation Device. Now Diego was telling me I should take these 2 out, but I like to have them to counter those extra deck monsters because I already have 2 Bottomless Trap Holes and 2 Deep Prisons. So if I have these, it just helps me get rid of more monsters. And that has been my deck profile. If you have any questions, that sucks because you are on YouTube. So there's the Gravekeepers for you.